Hi there, Jeff here from the Wetsuit Centre, talking to you today about the Oneill Pyrotech wetsuit for fall 2013. Now basically this wetsuit's just been introduced by Oneill, but it has been introduced in all three weights of wetsuits. So when we say weights, we're talking about the thickness of the suit. So this is a brand new suit, but it is available currently with us in a 3-2, so thickness of the neoprene is 3-2, 3mm on the lower body and 2mm in the upper body, which is typically sort of a summer wetsuit in Europe, well in Northern Europe anyway. And then you've got the 4-3, which is a great suit in the UK for autumn and spring. And then obviously guys overseas in warmer countries might be using that as a winter suit. And then it will be available, and it currently is available in the 5-3. And that's the 5mm of thickness on the lower body, 3mm on the upper body, and that's typically going to be used in UK winter time or Northern Europe, depending on your tolerance for the cold. So the Pyrotech, what's it all about, and why is it being introduced into the Oneill range? Well, previously, or its predecessor, should I say, was the Psycho RG8. So if you're familiar with the Psycho RG8, it was kind of mid to top range wetsuit, and it was available again in summer or winter suits. And it was really geared towards a full flex suit with warming properties on the chest and the back. And the primary sort of selling benefit of it was a chest zip. And also that it was made of regenerated materials through the chest panel. Okay, so a bit more of an eco-friendly suit. Now, what Oneill have done, I mean, a lot of the Oneill suits in the Psycho range, so you're talking the Psycho Freak, the Psycho 3, are sort of typically geared towards the back zip suit. I know the Psycho Freak does come in the chest zip as well, which we stock, but that's a sort of 300+ quid suit. So there was nothing really sort of around the mid-range in a chest zip apart from the Psycho RG8. And so what they've done is they've kept the shape of the suit and essentially most of the features of the suit the same, but what they've done is they've switched away from the sort of regenerated materials and just gone with the Technobutter neoprene, because that's what people are really asking for, that kind of mid to top range suit with a chest zip that's in the Technobutter as well. So people can get a chest zip Technobutter wetsuit without having to pay, you know, £300 plus. And so basically, essentially, when it all comes down to it, it is pretty much an RG8 wetsuit, but instead of the standard ultralight neoprene with the regenerated polypro, it's basically 100% Technobutter, the suit. So if you're not familiar with the RG8, I will go through the suit with you and all the sort of features. There might be a few subtle changes that I've missed out on, which hopefully anyone could flag up on the comments below. But basically, yeah, so the shape of the suit, same as the RG8, you've got minimal panelling through the suit, apart from obviously the chest panel. And around the back you've got the back panel, which is composed of airprene, ultra flex firewall material, and then smooth skin. I'll run through all of those with you in a second, but essentially it's there for a reason to keep you warm. The panelling on the suit might well be slightly different to the RG8. You've got some sort of super flex material here, just above the just below the chest zip system, which starts here, and basically that gives a bit more flex through the back and through the lumbar region on the wetsuit. Essentially the panelling is very similar to the RG8. All of the seams are pre-bent and the panels are kept to a minimum to mean there's less seams and less restriction and more flex throughout the wetsuit. Okay. Now the seams themselves are fully sealed, as you would expect, in the usual way, stitched and then glued on one side. So you've got the full sort of double really robust stitching on the inside there, but then on the outside, same with the old RG8, you've got that liquid taping as well. Now it's not the power seam technology, which is stitchless like you get in a Psycho 3. Basically they just tape it with a traditional rubber taping, but it is a little bit thinner than the old stuff, and so it promotes more flexibility as well. But as anyone who's had a suit with that sort of rubber taping knows, it's very, very durable and really helps get a longer shelf life out of the seams on the wetsuit. Okay, now moving further down, some of the sort of standard features, you've got the Duraflex knee pads, which are very robust, stop any sort of wear and tear through the knees, make sure that you don't wear through the suit really quickly, especially if you're learning to do something. And then basically, as with the previous suits, you've got the pinched cuffs, so nice and thin, easy to get your foot through and create a great seal with your wetsuit boot and with the cuffs and with your wetsuit glove as well, so nice and thin against the wrist, so there's less chance of them sort of rolling back up basically, and they feel more comfortable. On the inside of the cuff you get the usual bit of liquid taping, just great, again creates a better bond with your arm and the wetsuit and stops it riding up. Okay, on the outside of the suit, again, now you've got the traditional chest zip system here. I think it's the fuse zip entry system with the code-red zip, and basically it's a specially treated zip which is coated on the inside. I'll bring it a bit closer so you can see. Basically the red zip, specially treated zip, a specially made zip with the coating on the inside there as well. And basically the idea is that when water can't really penetrate the zip. Even if it does penetrate the zip, then it's met with the fuse entry system, basically, which is the chest zip part of the suit is sewn over the top of the suit, so even if any water comes in through the zip, it's met with the inside of the wetsuit, which will then just sort of drain the water out through the side of the suit here, or through the back of the back zip here, or through the back of the chest zip here. And you've got the little drain hole there. Okay, so you've basically got a drain hole for any water that does get into the chest entry system. The suit, as I say, well, the chest entry system goes up and over the head, as such, zips across the front, and on the inside of the collar here you've got a roll neck piece of material, and that's two pieces of neoprene sewn together, and basically the inside piece has got a bit of smooth skin on it, and what that does is allows the outside piece to move independently, and it stops it rubbing up and down against your neck, which is a nice little feature. Okay, creates a great seal around your neck, so if any water does come in through, rather than going straight into your suit, it's met with the back part of the wetsuit there and out through the drain hole. So there should be hardly any water getting into this wetsuit, so it's a really good entry system. Downsides are that it's a little bit hard to get into, but people that are interested in this suit are going to be looking specifically for a chest zip, which is definitely a sort of good chest zip entry system on the market. Okay, so the primary difference between this and the RG8 then, it comes down to the quality of material. So, anyone that's familiar with Technobutter will know that the boast about this material is that it's lighter and less absorbent than standard neoprene. Apparently, you're talking sort of a good sort of 5 to 10% lighter than a standard, or even more than that, standard neoprene. So it'll feel fantastic when it's on, more flex, more lightweight properties, and it's 30% less absorbent as well. So it's going to stay lighter in the water, it's going to dry quicker, and it's going to feel great when it's on. It's going to feel more like a summer suit, and obviously you get a huge amount of stretch through the suit as well. You can see that with the pre-brent seams and everything like that. Loads of flexibility, and we're hearing great things about the Technobutter neoprene. Really flexible, feels like a summer suit, and fantastically warm as well, because there's more air held within the suit, within the rubber should I say, which obviously promotes insulating properties as well. So you get all of that Technobutter neoprene the whole way through this suit, and it feels insanely light. It's a really, really lightweight suit, so yeah, it's definitely going to feel good when it's on. Okay, moving on to some of the other features then. As I said before, on the chest panel you've got the XDS Air neoprene. You can see that honeycomb material there, and basically essentially what this is three pieces of neoprene pushed together. The outside piece is the smooth skin, which stops any wind coming through the suit. The inside piece of neoprene is a layer with potholes in it, and basically what that does is it traps hot air as it leaves your body and uses that warm air to then insulate you, which keeps your core warmer for longer, and keeps you in the water for longer, and keeps your sort of key area, which is your core, your torso, where all your organs are, nice and warm, which basically keeps your blood warmer and keeps your whole body warmer. Okay, so you get that air insulation, and then the inside, which I'll show you in a second, but you're probably familiar with, is the Ultraflex firewall, which is like a polypro material, which insulates you again even better. So you've got 3 layers insulating you basically around your core. What I'll do is I'll turn the suit inside out now, so you can have a good look and get an idea what I mean by the sort of firewall material. So this previously had the regenerated materials, so the RG8 had the regenerated materials on the inside which you use to make the firewall material. But after some testing, Oneill discovered that this material which they're using now has actually got more insulating properties. So after some rigorous testing, they've decided to go to what's this called, like the Technobutter insulator. So I was wrong when I said it was firewall. So this is one of the primary sort of differences between this and the RG8 as well. So rather than using the standard RG8 regenerated sort of polypro material, this is called Technobutter insulation, and basically it's just a specially treated piece of neoprene and a lycra jersey, which has got kind of fluffy, but not as fluffy as normal, which is kind of similar to the one they use in the Epic actually. But apparently after testing, this this sort of polypro or insulating material is actually got more insulating properties and keeps you warmer and keeps the heat inside the wetsuit longer than the standard sort of more furry stuff. So that's why they've put it into the suit. So it's called the Technobutter insulator. So it should be super warm combined with the air insulation as well. And you get that around the front and around the back. And also, again, it's very, very lightweight. Hugely flexible, so it's not going to be restrictive, and one of the biggest benefits is very non-absorbent, so it will dry out very, very quickly. So if you're going for a second surf, it's pretty much likely you're going to be getting back into a pretty much dry wetsuit. So that's everything going on with the Pyrotech. As I said before, this suit is available in 3.2 and a 4.3 and a 5.3. Fantastic lightweight Technobutter chest zip wetsuit. And you're talking in the UK for around about £259 for the 5.3, £245 pounds for the 4.3, and £239 for the 3.2. So a real top-end suit in a chest zip with Technobutter material, and definitely a recommendation from the Wetsuit Centre.